Hi guys, in this video we'll be learning how to write to an existing file. There are two ways to write to a file, and those two are first A and second W. A stands for append, and this means adding to the end of the file. Second way, which is W, is by overwriting the file, and this means replacing what's already existing in the file. So I'll first show an example of append and then an example of overwrite. For an example of append, we'll be using a demo file 2, and let's get started. So to actually add to the file, we'll have to open the file first. So to do that, we'll be opening demo file 2.txt and then adding the mode. Since you're adding to the end of the file, you'll be using A. And the file that's open will be stored inside a variable, and you can call it whatever you want, but in this case I'll just call it f here. Then you can use a function called write to add on to the file. So I'll write now the file has more content, and this should be added on to the end of the file. And once you're done, you can close the file with f.close. Now let's see if this is inside the file, and to do that, we'll be using read to read the file. We'll be opening this again, and then this time we'll be using R for read. Then we'll print out the read content of the file. And once you print it out, you see that what we wrote here is in the file. Okay, now let's see if the overwrite works. The next example, we'll be using the sample file demo file 3. So we'll be opening it again, but this time with demo file 3, and then with the letter W. And then we'll overwrite it by using the write method again, and typing nope, I have deleted the content. Then you can close the file once more. To see if the file has been replaced, you'll read it again by first opening it, and then putting the mode as R, and then printing out f.read. And once we print it out, and then we look back at demo file 3, you'll see that the rest of all the file has been deleted and has been replaced with nope, I have deleted content. Oh, and all these demo files started with this, but you see that the file has been changed in one way or another, whether that's adding to the end of the file or replacing the file entirely. Okay. Now that we're done with writing the file, let's try to create a new file. So there are 3 ways to create a new file, and these 3 ways are X, which stands for create, A, which stands for append, and W, which stands for write. And X this will create a file, but this will return an error if the file already exists. The file exists. And for append, this will create a file if the specified file does not exist, and that's the same case for write, where it will create a file, but only if the file doesn't exist. So let's show a couple examples here. So we'll try to create a new file by using the variable f again, and then opening a new file that hasn't been created. Let's call this myfile.txt, and then we'll be using x as the second parameter. Then, once you run this, you'll see that there's a whole new file created. Then you can try it again. This time, instead of with x, let's try with w. And once we run this again, nothing will happen because the file has already been created. Or, let's see, let's try to delete this, and then try to run it again with w. And you'll see that, yeah, it still works, and this will create a whole new file. So once again, the three ways to create a file are with x, a, and w. And these are for creating files. As for writing to an existing file, there are two ways, which are a and w. And that's it. Thank you for watching this video, and see you next time.